anything you can think of is built on law. There are laws surrounding cryptocurrency, there are laws surrounding, property. So if you want to build EdTech, there are laws surrounding, education in Nigeria. There are laws, there are policies, there are regulations, and then regulation, alone, one single regulation alone can change the whole of the product. So because you are working, you want to build a product in an environment that is regulated, you have to make sure that you build that product taking into consideration legal compliance existing, in that area. So I mean, legal compliance is very, very essential. It is very, very essential because one single policy, one single regulation can change everything about you, can destroy your own business. I mean, we all remember what happened to Opay, in Lagos State when Opay was doing, this alien, riding, business, just because of one single policy from Lagos. Okay, we are banning Okada in our major roads in Lagos. I mean, it's killed that part of that business. If not for, the fact that they were able to innovate an idea, so they have to change to, fintech, and now they're already a unicorn company. So regulation law is very, very essential. You have to do it if you want to build a viable and successful, product. Number one, you need to understand the problem you want to solve, because not all, startup require licensing, right? Not all requires, licensing. So because your friend is running a product and is getting a license, so you feel like, okay, maybe I should also get a license. So number one, the solution, the problem you want to solve and how you want to solve the problem will determine the kind of license you would get. So before you approach licensing, number one, you need to be sure of the license you need to get. And you need to be sure if you really need that particular license at that point in time. Because licensing, especially when it comes to fintech, it's not something that is simple. Some are as expensive as 100 million naira, as 500 million naira, even far more than that. So you need to be very, very sure of what you want to do. You need to be sure if you really need license at that particular stage in your business. Even if your business requires a license, you have to be sure that at that point, if you're going to invest 700 million naira into licensing, I mean, investors' money into licensing, you have to be sure that the business has gone into a stage whereby you can scale it up to recoup your money. So when it comes to licensing, number one, be sure of what you want to get license for. Your business model does it require a license, and then are you ripe to get a license? If you are not ripe to get a license, what do? Are you going to partner with an entity, to run your business under a license, or you're going to start a business model that does not require a license, and then when you grow up, then you get a license to cover for the new area that requires license. It's very, very ironic, that tech guys, are falling for the prey of AI. We all know, I mean, I assume that we all know that the AI that we have now is what we call narrow AI. And then when it comes to narrow AI, the level of intelligence of narrow AI does not level up with human intelligence. What that means is that AI could come up with a lot of issues. AI will not give you what you know human would give you. It's gonna try, right? It's gonna try, but it's not gonna give you what a human being would give you. So lawyers, we spend at least 6 years in school to learn, to provide our service, and then you also gain a number of years of experience, you know, I mean, so why? So if we are drafting, agreement for you, if I give you an advice, we are not giving you the summary of what we got from articles online, the summary of what we got from AI. We are giving you what we've learned for 6 years in school, and we are also giving you our years of experience. AI does not have that. What AI has is just AI is just limited to what it has been fed. And in most instances, if AI does not know, if AI has a gap in his knowledge, it's going to hallucinate and tell you what does not exist. So, of course, as a lawyer, I've tried AI many times, and I can tell you that AI can. You cannot possibly replace AI. You cannot possibly replace, your lawyer with AI. The funny thing is, there are cases I think in the United States whereby lawyers prepared arguments with using AI, and they took the argument to court, and the court found out, oh, guys, what have you done? All these cases you've cited are lies. So Even lawyers who are professionals, even after reviewing what AI has given them, they are still making big mistakes in court. Talkers of somebody who doesn't understand, the legal, aspect of what he's doing. So AI is very, very dangerous. Don't rely on AI. You can, of course, you can prompt AI, to get ideas, to have direction. But when it comes to making decisions, you can't go into a contract based on the advisory, based on the opinion you got from an AI prompt. So lawyers, like I said, lawyers, founders replacing lawyers with AI. I must tell you, no business that wants to scale, that wants to be viable, would turn ChatGPT or Perplexity. Whatever motive behind you building your product, that aside. But for a startup, I think one mistake you should not do, which is very, very common, is the moment somebody has an idea like this, is looking for funding. I need 50K, I need 100K, I need 10K. See, if you really want to build something that will last, the advice we always give is to ensure that from the early stage, continue to bootstrap and bootstrap and bootstrap and bootstrap and bootstrap and bootstrap. Your uncles, your daddies, your friends, be very, very careful of giving out equity from the early stage. So just because you don't have money and you feel like, oh, somebody has money, so you get this amount of money from someone, give the person 10% equity in your company. So I think it's a common mistake for many startups, in Nigeria. The moment they build like this, what is in their head is getting funding. And we've seen it. We've seen it. A lot of these startups, after collecting the money, we see what happens at the end of getting the funds. So it also shows that many people don't really want to solve problem, right? What they want to do is to solve their own problem, which is the problem of making large amount of money within a very short period of time, not particularly solving a problem. See, if you really want to solve a problem, sincerely, you might not really worry about getting profit from the onset. Because in business, you don't always make profit from the onset. At times you drag, until you eat it. So my advice is when you start, don't put your mind on getting funding immediately. Put your mind on bootstrapping. Continue to bootstrap as far as you can. So I believe that bootstrapping, one of the things bootstrapping is going to do for you is that it's going to give you a very, very strong structure. And if anyone wants to come and join a business, maybe as a founder or as an equity, as an equity, investor in your company, they're going to come up with a very, very strong, very, 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 very strong bargaining power because you know the efforts you have put into that business.